questions, things they're holding them back, things they want ever wanted to know but never were afraid to ask. And I may even give out a copy of my book, So Rich You Can Quit, which you can see behind me. For those that join on the call today, we'll do a raffle sort of thing, and we'll get a copy out. But first, I want to make sure that everything's working correctly and people are able to see what I'm putting up. So let's test that out first. Go to my YouTube channel. I haven't been there in a while. Little factoid: I've been on YouTube for many years now. I have I have my personal channel there, but I also have a car channel called Blue Purple Red, and I've been recording BMW related stuff for the better part of I think 15 years now, and it's been a lot of fun to do that. So really excited about that. Any lives? Yeah, welcome to the live show. It is live. That's cool. And I don't know if LinkedIn is living right now. Let's see if I get an update on that. JP Albano. Another fun factoid. Saying Albano over the phone sounds like Albano. Oh, look, I am live. Cool. That's great. All right. Well, I'm here. And I can't tell if any audience is here. Studio chat. There we go. Cool. Oh, let's see. While we're going live here, let's cover something of value for those that do jump in. Let's talk about the behind the scenes of writing the book, right? While I'm waiting for some of our guests here. We'll go be live for about 5 or 10 minutes. So the book came out of a desire. This is distracting. 1 second. Desire to create some kind of online resource, valuable resource for people that I wanted to help. In the beginning, it was obviously anybody that was an investor, and it kind of evolved into realizing that I can help people that are in tech sales better because I can tell my story from tech sales into real estate. And originally, the lead magnet I was writing, my intention was to kind of like spell out how investing works, why I'm so excited about investing in apartments, how the mechanics work, how it makes money, all those sort of things. And my first my first draft was like 70 pages. Now, if you don't know anything about marketing or email, yeah, online marketing, 70 pages for a lead magnet is 69 pages too long, way too big. And so I realized I kind of had the foundations for what ultimately would be a book. And so I sent out in writing that out. And the first version of the book basically had a lot of technical elements of it. It was just like the nitty gritty of here's what NOI means, here's what a cap rate is, here's how you force appreciation and why you care about that, and here's what a cost segregation study is, and leverage and LTV and IRRs and that sort of stuff. And that's cool and all. It's a very tactical manual, but it's not really interesting, particularly interesting. So it evolved into this framework or idea of, let's tell the story of how I got into what caused me to get into wanting to write a book, what got me into, getting into real estate. And that origin story is pretty simple. I think it is. Being in tech sales, having the opportunity to help my clients implement, cutting edge technologies for their businesses was great. Feel really good doing that. Becoming more successful at my job and ultimately closing more sales. The flip side of that is you see some nice commissions. And alongside with seeing nice commissions, you also see more and more of your money taken out in taxes, federal taxes. And you get to a point where year after year after year of paying more and more in taxes, and the more you make, the more they take out in taxes. That's how it's a graduated system. It's how it works currently in the U.S. And it kind of becomes a little demoralizing, I'll say. And it forced me to stop and realize, well, what is it that I want? Do I want to keep working to pay money in taxes, or do I want to figure out a better way, right? I can't be the first person to have stumbled upon this issue. And so I did some research, and I learned that, fundamentally the problem we have as a high income earner is the way the tax code is written. Tax code is written, I'm not gonna say the word penalized, it's just written in a way where it's like if you're earning money through a certain mechanism, and that's active income or ordinary income, you're subject to these tax rates. And these tax rates, they start at like, low numbers and they go up to 37%, depending on where you are in the tax system. And the more you make, the more goes away, period. That's just how it is. Now, if you can shift that and you can earn your income through a different mechanism, through different means, then you are taxed differently. So what did that look like? Well, it looked like being able to earn income through capital gains. Um, and capital gains taxes are money that you make through maybe stock market, through real estate, and I'm like, all right, cool, stock market. That makes sense. I think I could do that. I can learn how to read candlestick charts. So I enrolled in a course, forgot the guy's name. It was a pretty good course. And he broke down all the things on how to be a day trader, essentially. Now, I had a friend of mine that was doing it, and I, had made a little bit of money doing that, and it was kind of exciting. And I spent a few weeks or months, wherever it was, going down the path of learning how to do some day trading stuff. And what I learned is, number one, day trading is definitely not for me. I learned that it's extremely stressful, and it wasn't something that I wanted to see myself doing at the end of the day. Really stressful. Reading candlestick charts and stuff is kind of cool, but I felt like I had the odds stacked against me. And what I mean by that is like I am not doing high frequency trading. I know if I've got there's algo traders that are out there, I can't compete with that. And what the hell am I doing? So I ended up losing a bunch of money and wasted a bunch of time, and it was very stressful. But the genius out of this was the ability of me getting clarity on what it was that I wanted. And I wanted to have financial freedom. I wanted to have passive income. I wanted to not have to keep trading my time for money. And it's okay to trade your time for money, right? But for me, I realized I don't want to keep doing that. So how do I escape this time for money paradigm? I talked about it in one of my chapters, I think the first chapter in my book. Um, and so how do I figure out what I can do that doesn't require me to keep selling hard drives for the rest of my life to make an income? And for that, I realized, did some research, and I found real estate. And in real estate, as you may or may not know, there's real estate's a very broad spectrum of things, right? It could be buying a single family house, doing rentals, doing fix and flips, doing Airbnb. It could be note investing, which is kind of cool. It could be a whole bunch of stuff, wholesaling, right? And for me, what I found was the concept of how multifamily apartments worked. And I did some research into that. I got turned on to a book called Emerging Markets by Dave Lindahl. And I read that book cover to cover. I don't even know where it is on my shelf somewhere, but I read it from cover to cover. And I was so inspired by this idea of how, okay, so I can buy these apartments. I mitigate risk from a single family rental because I have multiple people paying me rent, which I use that money to go pay my mortgage. So they help me pay my mortgage down. If one of them loses a job or gets sick or has to get evicted, it's okay because I've got other people paying the rent, which is great. I'm getting appreciation because they're paying down the mortgage, and it makes sense. And then you can stack the risk against. I'm sorry, you can mitigate the risk by investing in places where there's growth in the market, right? Because if you invest, you just buy any apartment complex and you buy in a market where the laws are against you as the landlord, that's a risk. Well, you mitigate that by investing in places where there's landlord friendly laws. Okay, cool. How do you make sure that there's a constant renter pool for you to sell your apartment to, right? To rent your apartment to. Well, you do that very simply by picking markets where there is hold on, get a bunch of stuff going on here. Oh, can't do that. Where there is strong drivers for having renters there, right? And that would be like job growth or population growth. If you are tuning in and you're able to kind of chat, I'm not sure how this works on LinkedIn just yet, but happy to welcome and happy to answer any questions you've got. Just kind of going through my story of where So Rich You Can Quit kind of came from. So back to what I was talking about, which was markets and mitigating risk. And so I thought it was just really interesting that it doesn't have to be all like throwing your money randomly at places. You can be very strategic about that. And just really excited about reading that book. So at the end of reading that book, I realized, all right, my future is in apartments somehow, somewhere, some way. I need to learn how that works. I need to learn how underwriting works. I need to learn what the hell underwriting is. I need to learn how to find an apartment, how to look at it, how to analyze a deal. And then once you pick a market, and once you do all that, all right, great. How do I actually like run an apartment? How do I get renters and run the business? Because basically, at the end of the day, these apartments are a business, right? The product is the apartment itself, and there's a business that goes along with running that, servicing the client there, the tenant that lives there, the resident that lives there, making sure they're happy, and making sure that they pay their rent on time, right, for the service that they're getting. And so, inspired by this idea that apartments was the way to go, I went down the path of finding training. At that time in 2017, 2018, there really wasn't a lot of available resources. At least I couldn't find them easily. Apartment investing was sort of starting to become on the consciousness of the mainstream a little bit, and so the resources for training weren't really there. One of the podcasts I listened to, which was Jake and Gino Wheelbarrow Profits, was, they were just kind of getting started. I found them, found Bigger Pockets, and I really really liked the Jake and Gino guys. I don't know, I just kind of resonated with them because they were New York guys, New Jersey guys, like I am, whatever. You don't ever leave New York, even though you're not there anymore. Uh, and um, and listening to them, and then at some point they announced that they were going to be doing some training, and I raised my hand for that, and found a lot of value in joining their community, and that's how I got started. I met my business partner Matt Shields in doing that. Looks like I got three viewers here. That's cool. If you are here, I have no way presently of figuring out how to live stream chat. There it is. Okay, hold on. Message everyone. Hey, oh, how does that work? Hey, welcome. Hopefully that works. So if you're watching this live, welcome. I'm here to answer any questions that you've got, whether it's around the book, it's around investing in real estate, our club, anything that kind of comes to mind. I'm happy to answer any questions. Hopefully I'll be able to see your question come through here on the chat. That's the whole point of doing this thing. Studio chat, no. Okay, all right, whatever. Okay, so yeah, got trained, went down the path of learning how investing in real estate works. And then at some point, my idea was to be a passive investor. I wanted to just kind of find deals, but I wanted to know how they work. The way my brain works is my engineer brain was to dig into underwriting, dig into finding a market. How do you find a market? And kind of go through all of those things. And what I found was I really, really liked the process of going through and finding a deal and putting it under analysis, putting an offer on it, buying it, and then doing the repositioning pieces, doing the actual work. And originally, that my plan was to be able to kind of exit sales and go into real estate kind of full time, being an active investor. And I was able to kind of do both the sales side and the real estate side, and build up a pretty sizable portfolio over the course of, God, 6, 7, 8 years or so with my partner Matt. And we kind of culminated by acquiring, I think the number is 700 units, but I've got to look back now. We've added some more since then, but I just say 700 because it's an easy round number. But 700 apartment units over the course of that time, property management business to be able to manage a lot of these units. And it's been an incredible journey. And now I realize I'm in a position where I can help other tech sellers realize that the power that they have at their disposal. It's power that I didn't recognize. I wish I would have done it early on, and it's all good because now I can kind of take my mistakes and whatever and evangelize about it. And what that power is you're in a position where you make really good money. You can make great money. And if you can get really good at not spending all of that money and living off of your base salary, right? And taking the rest of it and reinvesting it in low risk investments that you're not going to get on the stock market, you're not going to get in your 401k, but alternative assets, just like the ultra wealthy do. That's where the secret is. And that's where the tax code is optimized and incentivizes investors to put their money in real estate, because the tax code incentivizes those people by giving them tax breaks and tax advantages and a way and a path to minimize, eliminate, or eradicate their taxes. And so it's really kind of coming full circle. It's a matter of shifting all of your income, eventually your income, from active ordinary income, i.e. money you make in sales, and then shift that into investing into assets that generate cash flow or appreciation. And then that, once you get money coming in the door through that avenue, that channel, then you've got a lot of flexibility there. You've got mechanisms where you can shelter that tax legally. I know Rob Cook, who I work a lot with for a lot of our members in our club here, and we evangelize the same thing. He's a great financial planner that I recommend my club members talk to and work with to help them figure out how to minimize those taxes. But that's all been sorted. It's all been solved. It isn't anything new here that we've uncovered. It's just this thing that's been hidden in plain sight for so long for so many people around how the ultra wealthy use real estate to grow wealth, preserve wealth, and pass it down to legacy, to the generational wealth sort of thing. So with that, I'm going to conclude our first ever live stream. I'll probably come back in a little bit more time after I grab some lunch, and I'll be able to continue to do some Q&A, and I'll do a little bit more training here. But my goal here on my first live workshop is to get in the habit on, let's see, today's Wednesday. I think I'll make it Thursdays. Thursday will be Tech Sales Thursdays, where we go into 30-minute workshop, answer some questions, and I'll cover a topic on real estate investing and training and things like that. So with that, thanks so much for joining, and I will see you all soon.